Well, g'day tubes, how's she hanging? So looks like the power guys are here, taking out that tree. We're losing a tree. Anyways, that's probably not a bad thing. It is a bad thing because it's a really good tree still, but it's it's a good thing because the tree grew right into the lines, the big high tension lines there. So yeah, it's got to come out. I should have done that years ago, but when it was a little guy, I could see it was going to grow up into there. But anyways, if I can get in the shed here, the door's jamming up again on the ground there. We got the heater on today. Darn it, I need to stop at my truck. But anyways, today we got the big tank here off the AR, and let me get my light going here. This is the little 1 gallon tank that you would start the tractor in the day on just in gas, regular gas. Gas was worth more money than I guess what the tractor fuel was, which was basically kerosene, diesel kind of stuff. So your big tank here would be full of tractor fuel, ready to go. And this one you'd start it cold on gasoline. Well, this is the one I've always kind of used. I don't really go too far with it, so I don't need a whole bunch of fuel, but if you look inside, I can get you down in there. It's kind of grimy, kind of gross. It's got a bit of rust in it. It doesn't leak though, which is good. The big fella here, however, did. When we were out plowing with it, I gotta show you this after too. This is funny. These things. I found those when I took it off. When we were out plowing, it did leak. And it's a heavy old tank. It leaked on this front seam here. So now these things here, there's a little dent here, and this plate goes into that dent, and then they soldered. You can still sort of see some of the solder there. That wasn't leaking there, so I didn't bother with it. But some of this was soldered, the whole thing in here, and well, it's on the other side. You might see like some of the solder that they put a little bit too much on right there. So on that seam there, that's like a hunk of solder or lead. It's actually probably lead back in the day. So this was leaking all in here. Now what had happened was, I guess the fella that owned it before, it leaked on him, so he tried to put more solder in there, and I don't know if it worked for a bit, and then it started to leak again. So then he put a whole gob of that JB weld crap stuff in there. Didn't work, so then he put a layer of silicone on top. Apparently that didn't work either because it leaked on me. So this was literally gobbed right full. Actually, you can still see some of the JB weld. So this whole thing was just like filled with crap. So I got it all out, got it warmed up real good. Torch, yes. No, actually, I'm sorry, I used my heat gun, so it wasn't a flame. Got it warmed up and got it warm enough that the solder would flow a bit. Made sure the tank was real. I'd had fuel in it, you know, from plowing in the summertime there, but it had vented out pretty good enough. So, so I got it all cleaned. Got her heated up with the heat gun and got the stuff cleaned off, anyways, down to where I could see like the solder like this again. And then I got in there with some real good, like my actual propane torch, and warmed it up and mushed that stuff around a little bit. Thought, okay, maybe that'll reseal it. Didn't really, because I could pressure test it. I had the outlet blocked off, and I could pressure test here just a little bit. Put some soap on it, soapy water. You can see it fizzling, bubbling, and stuff. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I ended up cleaning all that solder out of there, and I put 3 layers of, oh, what's that stuff called in the yellow tube? It's good stuff. It's meant for gas and oil. Seal-all, good stuff. So I did all up here, around here. Got her dried for about a week, let her sit there, and pressure tested it, and then I had nothing. So I'm like, good. Like no air, no bubbles coming out. Nowhere else was bubbling. So that was good. But then inside, I wanted to do a sealing inside too, and I don't have the stuff with me, but you can kind of see the stuff in there. Let's zoom you in a little bit. I'm trying to get some light in there. So this is left, oh, hang on, she's not focusing. Well, it's hard to light that up in there, but anyways, you can see the pooling of the stuff there. And there it is. And there's a thin layer, and I didn't want to do a second layer on this yet because I wanted to leave enough of the tank sealer stuff to do this little guy too. So if when this is done with 2 layers, then whatever I got left I'll put back in here again, and then swish it around, and then she'll be really sealed. So it's sealed from the inside and fixed and sealed from the outside with this seal all stuff, and it works good. It's hard, like the stuff's hard, but it resists the gas and stuff. So anyways, what my job is today is to try to get this little tank cleaned out a bit. And I'm going to use, it's not that bad, it just needs basically the rust taken off it. So you can see the, you know, the rusties in there. And it's a little bit kind of gross. And I probably should try to get that little valve out of there, because when I seal this with that tank sealer stuff, it might be, oh, sorry, you're looking at the right spot. Come on, look in the right spot. See this little thing here? I should probably try to get that out of there. Although I really don't want to mess with it, so I think I might just leave it in. And basically it's it's already in the right position and everything. You know, I really don't want to take this thing out of there, so I'm going to try to leave it in. And hopefully it doesn't get too gummed up with stuff. When it is pretty thin, this stuff. Like, it leaves a real thin coat on it. But I mean, if it's a problem, I can take it out later on down the road and fix her up again. So, because this is fairly easy to get to, this part here. This is all open here right on the tractor, right? So anyways, what my game plan is, oh yeah, I gotta show you these. What my game plan is here anyways is to get some iron out, it's called, and a bit of water, put it in there, and I was gonna maybe grab some nuts and bolts, or nuts or something too, a bunch of nuts, and stick in there, and then just, you know, swoosh it around like for a bit and let that stuff work. It works fast. The iron out is really good stuff, and that should get her down. I'm gonna get her good and dry in there, and somehow maybe put a towel or something down air and get her good and dry. And I'd like to get a bit of heat in there too to warm up the tank, so it would really dry. But what I might have to do is get my little heater, my little 220 volt heater, and hook it to my other generator there and run a cord down, and then put this right in front of it and let it warm this for a wee bit. You know, not melt the paint off, but warm it up so it gets all the moisture out of it, because there's going to be some junk in here that's going to have to try to come out too. And hopefully the nuts and bolts and then the iron out will get the rusty stuff out. So, but anyways, this is, of course, the top of the tank. And the hood fits right on here. And then there's a little strap that mounts to the bottom of the hood thing that kind of mounts it to the tractor. And so the hood sits right on here. So I guess whoever in the past time thought, oh, I don't want it rubbing on the tank, which is a good idea, but they use their belt. This is like their belt. I'm like, wow, and they just like hot glued her on. There's like another chunk of the belt. I guess, you know, that worked. It looks like it had been moved at one time though. It was over there, but I don't know whether I'm just gonna stick that back on, let's get at her, or find something a little better maybe to put over, like I've got some matting stuff, but you don't want this to be too high because it'll screw up where the mounts are. And maybe that's why it was kind of weird where it was sitting. So I might try to find something a little smaller, but then you don't want something that's going to hold moisture. You know, like these aren't too bad, but you know, and it's kind of wrecked the paint a little bit on here. Should really strip the whole thing down and repaint it, but I don't have this color again to match the rest of the tractor. So I mean, I want it to kind of be, I'm going to leave it the way it is for now, because I don't think the outside's bad. But anyways, so I got a few more things I got to get, and some nuts or something put in there, and then swoosh it around with the stuff in it. And I did bring a little cap, but it seemed to have come off there. I don't think that's actually the right threads, although it seems to thread on. I got some magic stuff too in my pocket. Might work for that. just while the stuff's in there so I can swoosh it around and won't leak all out. Anyway, so okay, let's get some more stuff, and hopefully it gets warm enough in here. One of you wants to get my other heater going, because when I want to dry this thing out and get it sealed, this has got to be fairly warm, and so far that feels like it's kind of cold, so that's not so good maybe. But anyways, let's get at her. Alright, this is the stuff I used in the tank. I'm going to use in the small tank. I've got maybe a little, about half a can left. My stepdad gave me this stuff. He sealed tanks. He's had this for like 20 odd years or something like that. Tried to order some more of this. There's Bill Hirsch Automotive in the States. They can't ship it to me because it's a dangerous chemical or whatever they call it. I should have enough though, hopefully, for this. This was actually bought at a show in north of us about 20 odd years ago anyways, and that guy had it imported. Now there's a guy that sells it, and it's about 2 hours away from me, and I tried to call him, had a huge runaround, never even talked to the guy. Finally got the right phone number, and the guy's name, I think it was Andy or whatever, from some automotive place here. Supposed to be a dealer for this stuff, because Bill Hirsch Automotive gave me his name and business name for getting this stuff. And so I called, and it was, this number has been reassigned to this number, blah blah blah. Call that new number. This number is no longer in service. I'm like, really? So I did some Google searching and found another number, called it, and it went to an answering thing, and it was a guy. His name was Andy, I believe it was, and never called me back. So I'm like, great, fantastic, great customer service. But anyways, so I know this stuff comes from the States. I can't get it here, so I've got hopefully enough to finish me up. Oh, maybe. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Should be alright once I can get her free. This stuff is a sealer, right? So if you get any on the threads, you're screwed. There we go. I think I might have just squashed the lid too much there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, I have about half a can left, and it's real milky stuff, but it dries to like this kind of stuff, sort of thing. I mean, it's kind of gross, but it's weird stuff. It's a resin. It is a resin, but it's gas safe, oil, gas resistant stuff, and it's good. So now this is one I dipped it and then gave it a peel just to see what it was like. So this is my screwdriver thing. So I dipped this twice. So this actually has two coatings on it, and you can see it's like a plasticky kind of stuff. And it should be good. Like, as long as you don't disturb it, it shouldn't be chipping off like that. But you know, and it seems to work pretty good. So that puts your little layer, you know, for your gas to sit on, kind of thing. But I want to try to do two. Well, I won't be able to do two in this video today, coats of that tank, but I want to try to do one coat today, and then probably another coat. I might not do a video for the second coat. I could probably do a second coat in this one though after I've done. I need at least one coat in this little guy here. Other than that, you can have, you know, whatever. But, so we got to get some iron out. I'm going to show you that stuff too. Works good. See how well it cleans that. I've got a mitt full of nuts. You might think that's a little nuts, but that'll help kind of loosen any of the junk up, clean it out, and then we'll have to flush it out a few times with some water, and she should be hopefully all good. So let's get at her here. All right, well, I got this little cap on here. I don't think I'm going to use it though, because I don't think it's going to leak. It's going to leak. gonna leak. So I'm just gonna use some of this masking tape, and hopefully it's decent stuff. I got a box to open here after too. Come from Steiner Tractor. And I think it's parts for the 9N. Ordered a couple more parts for that. So we'll just hopefully seal that up enough. And okay, so this is what we're going to use here. This is Iron Out. It's actually good for toilets and laundry, and you can put it in if you got a lot of iron in your water, you can put it in your wash your water softener too. So good stuff. Smells, whoa geez, sorry, geez, about took you out. It smells terrible. It's just smells like iron, which is weird. But anyways, so let's get you down over here and we'll get working at this. Okay, so let's get a little light in there. This is we'll say before. If I can get some light sort of down now, it's hard to get that lit up. But it's pretty crappy. Hopefully this stuff works. I'm hoping it works. And anyways, so we'll put some of this Iron Out in. And I should probably put a bit of water in first so this doesn't get right down in the bottom. So we're going to put a bit of water in. Hopefully that tape holds. Oh, it's leaking. Of course it is. Slowed her down a bit. Okay, so in case that doesn't work, I do have some duct tape. Not sure if that's going to help either though, but probably not. So we'll put a bit of this Iron Out in. This stuff's like a white powder. It's probably good. Ooh, stinks. And we'll get some nuts because I'm just that crazy. Some 5/16 and 3/8 nuts. Then we got to go dance with the tank. Sweet. Alright. Still leaking a little bit there. Let's see how much water did I put in there. Might not be quite enough. Now we need some more water. We'll put a bit more water in. And we'll put a bit more Iron Out in. Should be good. This stuff's fairly concentrated. You don't need a whole pile of it. And we'll take our cap. Hear those guys out working out there. Take our cap and trim this up maybe a bit. Let's zoom you back out because you don't really need to be in that close now. And those guys are out trimming the trees for the power lines. Is my wife ever mad? Woo-wee! Facebook post and everything. Oh man. Alright, so hopefully I'm going to put my gloves on because this stuff is probably not good for your skin. And we'll go outside here and give her some shaking. Not a whole lot of shaking, I know, but I'm just basically trying to get the surface rust off. Okay, I want to keep the camera out of the splash range. Let that drain out. Might have to do her again. Put the cap up here, I guess. That stuff's a bit grimy. Took some of the old powdery junk off, I think. Ooh, it stinks. Ooh, boy, it stinks. A lot of old fuel residue in that tank, let me tell you. I'll let her drain out. There's still quite a bit of water in there, yeah. There's nuts in the way too. We got to try to get all them out again. But it's coming. It's quite a color. Kind of want it to run a bit clearer than that. It's pretty muddy looking right now. Well, that's great. I'll go dump that in the river when it's done. Won't be any iron in the water. Well, it'll be dissolved iron. No, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing you. Teasing you. I'm just teasing you. Okay, gotta get a poker thing. Those are all nice, clean, new, fresh, brand new, non-tarnished nuts that I put in there. So that's good. What I'm going to do is just back these up a little bit. I'm going to run just a bit of water, I think, into it now. That run out again. Still pretty gross. After one treatment of that stuff, let's see here what she's looking like. Let's get her light. And I'll get you off the tripod here. Let's see if it's much cleaner or not. Well, kind of hard to get you in there, but I'm still seeing quite a bit of crud in there. That's not as clean as I'd like to get it. So we'll have to give her another treatment maybe. Okay, some more water. Oh, that's not holding. Have to hold better than that there, but darn crappy duct tape that doesn't work. Oh. Well, we'll just have to add a bit more water and do her quick. Wish I had one of those turning rotisserie things for holding. Okay, put the gloves on. I'll go outside and give her another shake for a bit here. And back in a moment. Alright, let's see what happens here now. I'll get this thing off of here, hopefully. Now that it's on there really good, I can't get it off. It's gotta peel off, you would think. A little pair of pliers, maybe. Silly pliers. Holy cow, excuse me. It's on good, but it just doesn't want to seal it good. Alright, well, we'll see how it's looking now. It's got to be fairly clean in there, right, for this stuff. I gotta open my door a bit. Kind of choked it a little bit. Still pretty grimy coming out. Milky flavored. I think that's a lot of that's probably just years of gas that's been in there and dried out a bit and left the ring line, and more gas dried in, left the ring line. Lots of goo. There's a bit of sediment too though. That's good, we're getting it, I think. Well, let's let that drain out and we'll see what we got in the bottom. Well, it's better. Still got a bit of crud, but it's better. Still gonna need a little bit more work, I think. Okay, rinsed her a few times, well, 3 times now, and swished it around some more. I actually got in there with a wire brush too, and I got a curved wire brush. It can actually fit the curve of the tank not too bad all the way in and around, so we got to loosen up a little more, and it's running fairly clear now. I think I could probably look inside and see how it's done, how it's looking when we get this drained out of here again. And I think we might be pretty darn almost good. Let that drain right out. Nearly out of water, so it better be done soon. After we get more water. That's a cool thing of the river. You pour your junk in one side and it gets freshened up by the stuff coming from the top. No, I'm just kidding, I'm teasing you. Washes it down into the lake. Alright, let's get you off the tripod here and let's see. It's looking better. Still a bit over on that side. Mostly all not too bad. I might give it another treatment with the just can't get you in the right spot. Darn lights. Now this tank, I could heat this up here, melt the solder off, and if you look in the back, it's one, I believe it's pressed in, like this front part will be pressed in and then soldered on. So the seam is actually inside the tank here. So if it leaks, it'll just leak into the big tank, I guess. But I'm going to give it a bit more washing, and that's probably all I'm going to get out of it. Okay, we're going to go for a rinse. Darn valve. And let's see how we're looking. Might need another rinse. Might need to give it some air too. That worked pretty good, didn't it? Held her off pretty good. Okay, I'm just going to cut in front of you for a second. Now we'll try to get the nuts poured out of there. There's a bit of sediment in the bottom though. It's kind of brown, sort of tanned colored stuff. And I think I'll try to get her dried out. What I'm going to do is get some dry clean towels, stick in there, get the air gun in there, blow it around a whole bunch. Hopefully that'll get her mostly dry, and then hit her with some air power, I guess. I could reverse my vacuum, but it's got to go somewhere, right? It's got nowhere to go. It's just going to fill out there and then not do anything. So, but anyways. So, I think we got her pretty clean there now. The stuff, it has to be fairly good and clean for that stuff to stick real nice. So, but I think we got her. Hopefully, anyways. Now what we got to do with the sealer is get that bunged off on the bottom real good there. You could actually use a piece of Play-Doh, put it in the end there, and then tape it up, and then it won't leak so bad. This leaks pretty good like this though. So, but let's see if we can get the all the nuts out of here now. All right, how are we going to do this? I guess we'll put this guy over here. One nut. There we go. No nut. All right, I think they're all in there. They even look cleaner than when they went in. Sweet. That's nuts, man. That's nuts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I hate trying to get these out again, but it does help dry it up real nice. And I got my air compressor on, so it's going to turn on all of a sudden and scare you. So Ready for that. Okay, now the fun part is trying to get these out of here. I might have to go get my longer needle nose. Might have to get my longer needle nose. Unless we can cheat. Alright, I don't think it's too bad, but it's cold now from all that water being in there, right? So it's going to make some condensation and stuff. So I want to get it kind of warmed up. See if I can... Yeah, I think that'll be alright. Should probably have a bit more treatment. There's a metal stripping stuff too that you can get to put in there, but I think it'll be mostly alright. I wish I had one of those rotisserie things. I would have let it go like overnight. Ding, ling, 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 spinning, right? Could have just had it spin like this way and it would have... But anyways, I haven't got one of those. So, I gotta get it a little warmer though, because I can feel it's like damp, right? And that's not really a good thing. I don't know if it's like that on the inside, but probably is. And it's a little damp. So I'm gonna get my little heater going, running off my generator there, and just get it right on the bench here, turn it a bit and warm it up. Alright, I got the little 220 volt heater going here. Hopefully it doesn't catch my bench on fire. That would suck. And this thing really draws a pile of power for what it gives you. It's terrible. The trade-off is terrible. So let's get this thing kind of sitting, looking right at it maybe. Let's get a fair good air bit movement there. Sweet. That'll dry her up good, I think. We'll let that go for, I don't know, half a year or something. That'll get her going. It should anyways. Just get a good draw right on the outlet, and the whole tank's getting, yeah, that should be alright. We'll let that go for a few. While we're waiting on that guy, we'll open up this box from Steiner. Alright, yeah, it's from Steiner Tractor. Bloody shipping for this stuff. Ooh, man, it's expensive. I kind of imagine that they're probably making money off shipping. It's really hard to say, but this cost me, I got it. Well, there's only two methods you can get it. It's only like 2 days shorter to get it faster. Is that right? Yeah, something like that. Anyways, I always get the stuff fast. Oh, I got staples in it too. I always get the stuff fast, so I always end up paying more, which is stupid because, you know, I don't really need this right now. But 83 bucks just to ship this from Steiner. Holy cow! Now mine is heavy. It is heavy. Well, what is it? I don't know. Can't remember. Staples. These things will rip your skin apart. Take them out. Scrap them. Bad for you. So we got a nice box of spray foam, or a bag of spray foam. That's cool. And we got a terrible cow tail. Those things are, I don't like them. Got a place for that. And what's this? Steiner, Facebook, Google. Yeah, okay. This is something free USA delivery. Oh, well, I'm in Canada now. Canada, eh? Doesn't work for me. So I got the manual. This is an original, well, it's reprint, but it's the original service manual for the 9N, 2N. That's kind of cool. That was expensive. I don't think that was like 18 bucks. But I'll have to look at that after. Put it somewhere it's not going to catch fire. And this is what I got ordered. Oh, there's another cowtail in there. Ugh. Sorry, Steiner. Cowtails are terrible. This is what I got ordered. It looks like they spray foamed it right in there, which is good. Look at that. Spray foamed right in. That's kind of cool. Good idea. That box is too big for here, so we'll have to get rid of that. Okay. I go throw that box in the river. Okay, what do we got here? Now, I'm not 100% sure if this part on the other 9N is actually needing replacement. It didn't seem to work, but it could be just a wiring issue. Looking at that thing, holy crap, it is in pretty bad shape. The wiring is terrible. So that's definitely something. But I gotta get it running just to be able to get it off. So this is probably, ooh, isn't that nice? Oh man, they sure make them light. Brand new starter. Starter motor with the Bendix. You got to take this little stuff off of here so it doesn't in the box. But that's weird. They spin in. So the flywheel ring gear's like here when it's running, and this thing spins and sucks in into the ring gear. So there we go. No screwing around. I'll probably get the other one rebuilt. But I don't know what else. What else we got in here? Some screws for something. And that's the oh, that goes, I think, to ground or something. I can't remember. I'm sure there's instructions here. I gotta put this thing down. It's heavy. Oh. And a couple of miscellaneous little lock washers that I think came out of this little bag of tricks. It looks like it's maybe been already opened. That's interesting. Or it's just been cut open with the box or the starter. Okay, that tank's really hot. I'm gonna shut that off now. It's like I can't touch it hot. I don't want the stuff to melt. So, presuming that'll be dry. And that's only ran about 4 or 5 minutes on it. So there's the installation instructions. I'll have to look at those. And it looks like something tore into it and ripped the bag too. So ripped this bag. Probably the starter banging around. Oh, I don't like seeing that on the bottom. Chinese writing. I don't like that. Verify starters non-functional. Starter can be tested using a carbon pile load tester, a voltmeter, and a clamp-on style ammeter. Verify before replacing the starter. Verify the batteries are fully charged and the battery terminals are clean, firmly in place. Battery, well, that's part of the problem too. The battery was pretty much screwed on that thing, but I put my booster on it and it still smoked the cable. So something's wrong with the starter, or could be the solenoid screw too on it. Check all. Okay, so removal instructions. I think I know how to remove it. It's going to be a pain in the rear end, but installation instructions. Check. Compare original starter to replacement starter. All mounting holes, wire and plug connectors, and hardware should be compatible. Some vehicle manufacturers. Okay, blah 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 blah. Install the replacement starter reusing the mounting hardware from the original starter. I think this one actually comes with it. Maybe not. So that's just bolts, shipping bolts, maybe to hold it together. I think the other ones are probably a little bit longer, but because they have to screw into the case of the tractor, right? Nuts and bolts, manufacturer required with specifications. Reconnect all electrical connections of the replacement starter to the correct terminals. It is important that all connections be clean, fit properly. Reconnect the battery cable, connecting positive connection first. Place the removed starter in the replacement starter box for a proper core return. I don't have the core returns here, so that's easy. Alright, so that's for the 9N. One of these days. I just want to get it running first. I just looked in the tank on it, and it actually looked pretty good. Oh. I was thinking I was going to have to take it all apart and get it all cleaned up, but I think it's going to be alright. I can't remember what that's for now, but it's bent. It's bent kind of weird. I think that goes from, well, I don't know, I'll have to look on the other one. But anyways, there's the starter, ready to go. So let's have a look at this tank here now. She's pretty warm. Okay, yeah, it warmed up. It's cooled down a bit now, but that was pretty warm. I think that's probably going to be all good now. Darn, I need my big flashlights out here. I keep forgetting to bring it out. Oh yeah, I think we're good. Now, this stuff does work really good, but it's really thin. So it just does a thin coat. I want you to really stir it up, mix it up good. And I am gonna have to block off that hole again a little bit on the bottom so I can at least spin it around, right? So let's see if we can. Now being dry, it might be a little better to seal it up. I don't know. And then I'll have to figure out something to let that drain back in after I give that a coating. It doesn't take long. Like, I'm just basically going to let that cool off just a little more. And what am I going to set up here? I got to get it up high enough that this can just sit right under the thing there. So I've got my thingy there, guys. Thingy guy there. That might sit up on one end. If I get a little bit more, wood there. Hang on a sec, I got more wood. Or you can use this sweet new starter box that we just got, because it's pretty thick and heavy duty. And then maybe a wood or two. There we go. So that'll be good, that'll drain. Once I get her in the right spot, drain right into her. Alright, hopefully this is all good. You be good to me, mister. You be good to me, mister. Alright, so here we go. Let's I'm just gonna throw this wood back down the stairs here. There we go. Okay. We'll get a sheet of this ready. Spare sheet. Might do that other tank too today. And I want to get this heat going again here so it stays warm. Okay, more generator. Alright, here we go. Are you all watching? Hopefully we're good. I'm going to get you up a little bit higher though. There we go. So I got to get this on here. Oh, any solids mixed back up. This stuff is fairly thin. Hopefully it doesn't just come in and out. There we go. It's like milk. Should be lots for that little tank. Put this guy on here, and that guy on there. And you gotta mix it around and just basically coat it. Should be good. Oh, it's coming at the top a bit on me. That's not good. Didn't hold that stuff back, but it held the water back, which was funny. Oh, neck too, that's fine. That started to dry there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Water drying on the outside. I'm surprised that didn't hold that back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, she got a bit of sealer on the outside now. I'm sure I can scrape that off later. Good stuff, but gotta do it the right way, that's for sure. Okay, I need a bit of wood. Should have just left it up here. Well, she's stuck good now. Now I can't get it off. Okay. Quite gonna get the two there, but that'll just drain back in now. Whatever doesn't need it just drains back in, which will be most of it. It'll be like 98% of it will drain back in. But that is what we do. Wish I had another like half a piece of wood. Like a 1x2 or something in here. What do I got? Just would like to get that up a little bit higher. What have I got that's close? My X headset. Perfect. Alright, so I'll let that drain back in there. Good stuff. And that's sitting fairly level there. I think we should be alright. But I'll leave this heater going here for a wee little bit. We'll let that drain in, and might tackle doing the big tank again today. I'm not sure. It's going to take a little bit to drain back in, but let's have a look-see. Oh yeah, it's still up to like here. So that'll take a bit. Not a fast flow, this thing, I guess, so it's fast enough to keep the tractor running, though, and that thing burns up a lot of fuel real fast. I probably should have taken out this nipple. Probably should have done that, but I really didn't want to mess with it because it's in the right spot now and it's sealed from where it was before. I didn't really want to mess with it, so we just left her. But anyways, we'll let her drain. That's going to take a wee bit. I didn't see any chunks go in, so hopefully it keeps going here. If it doesn't, then I'm going to be forced to have to pull this thing out. And that looks like it would be a real pain. It's got flat sides on it, though. I could probably get a wrench onto it. It would probably drain a lot faster. Oh. better if I did though. Oh, get to reposition it all again. Oh, I don't like that. I don't really want to get on there with too much. Maybe it'll be alright. Yeah, I don't. Really don't want to mess this up either. I'll rip it out. No, I think it's going to leave it. Heck with it before we break it. I could probably got it out if I heated this a little more there. I would have to cook the paint off it. She'll be alright. We'll let her drain. Alright, so that didn't drain out too super nicely. There was still a pretty good puddle on the bottom, so I had to tip it right upside down. I got a little more out that way. And I couldn't get it all like right out, so there was just a nice light film. So I'm going to tip her up that way at least it won't build up on the bottom of the tank and create a big problem down there. But let's have a look-see in there if we can. Let me just put you down for a second there. And you can kind of see the layer of stuff in there now, right? So we got to do another layer yet, but I got to let this one dry up a bit. Once it's got a bit of a skin on it, I might do the other big tank. Alright, that sat there up on its end for about 2 hours, I guess. Maybe 3 hours. 2 and a bit hours. 2 hours and 29 minutes. How about that? I think what I want to do now is try to recoat this main tank again here. So what I'm going to do is tape up this guy and then give that a really good seal job there. Should hold most of her back. I don't want to make it too hard to get that thing off again, right? So, okay. So we'll pull this up here. This guy here. Go this way, I guess. Okay. Well, that's good there. Hopefully that's all right in here. I'm just going to have a little look in here. Yeah, there's a bit of juice still there. I don't think I'm going to be able to reseal this one again today. It's pooled up a little bit on the front here, but there's just a bit of the juicy stuff that's kind of messed it up a little bit, but anyways, it's hard to get that out of there because of the lip here, and then there's a lip right under here, so there's like a little valley that holds a whole bunch of that. But I want to do the main tank again here, and I think I got enough to mostly get it coated. Should work good there. Whole thing in here is left. And I'm just going to slosh doesn't sound like it's doing anything, but let me look in here now and see. I don't really want to do the top part too bad. Oh yeah, it's sloshed around there a bit. I don't want to do that because I normally don't fill these right up. But I want want to get, you know, main part. That'll mostly do it. Let's get you down in here. We'll get her drained out again. All right, that should work good there. Try not to get that stuff on me, but sometimes it's hard. It does dry like right away. It dries really fast, so. Alright. That's gonna take a while to all leach out again. Hopefully we got her all coated pretty good. I'll just let her sit there and drain out for another while. And should be good. Now it'll pool a little bit in the bottom there, but it'll dry out eventually. It'll be all right. I might just have enough left. Time that drains out, it's amazing how much will actually come out again. Might have enough just to do the little tank again, but probably won't be today though. I'll have to let it dry up for a while. It takes a while to drain out too, and this guy here is just a little short little nipple guy there. That's where the big fuel bowl separator thingy goes, screws into there. So then there's the little three-way valve in there too. It's all part of that thing. It screws right into the fuel separator there as well. And that goes over to this one little tank, and then when you turn the valve, it turns and opens and then drains it out from the big tank. It's a pretty neat little system actually. For back then, you know, them old guys, young guys then I guess, they knew what they were doing, that's for sure. Well, let's have a look in the tank here now and see how it's looking in here, if I can get ya in here. Let's get the light going, and hard to get the light in the right spot. Yeah, I think it'll be all right. Hard to show you that without the proper lighting in there. But anyways, there you can see it kind of pools there a bit, right? Come on, focus. Don't you want to focus? There we go. Kind of draining out. I'll have to probably tip it side to side and get it to kind of, you know, but the tank is shaped, you know, like it necks down, right? So it should all eventually drain out. Like you can see the necking, or whatever you call it, but it's got a little flat spot on the bottom where that little thing mounts on there, so it will pool there a little bit, but should be extra protected. Alright, well, I'm probably going to call her a day here and let this drain a little more. We're down to a little bit of a drip now. Let's see in here. What's it doing? Well, it's dark. It's definitely dark. Darn it, I need light in the tank. That would be nice. Well, it's got a good coating anyways. It's just a little bit there that's going to continue to dribble. So I probably won't worry too much more about it, but I'm going to leave this sitting here dribbling probably till about 9 or 10 o'clock with the heat on, and then I'll just take her inside, I guess, and then we'll let her dry up. And then I wanted to do another coat in the little guy there, but I don't know. I probably should have one, but it's still a little damp yet. I don't really want to put another coat right yet, although it's probably a good time now to do it. This one's still dribbling though. I don't really want to get into that one yet. So, and this one wasn't that bad actually. It wasn't leaking or nothing. So, but another coat wouldn't be a bad idea in there. But I'll let this dribble a little bit more here, and I just don't want the stuff to dry out too much, right? Or cure, we'll say. So, anyways, yeah, not looking too bad. Alright, reading this label back here, I can't actually do another coat on this tank, on the small tank anyways today, because it needs to dry. Let tank air dry for at least 24 hours, in some cases 48 or even 72 hours may be better depending on atmospheric conditions. If the tank just had rust, one application should be enough. So this one was just rusty. I lost my spot. If the tank leaked, it might be better to repeat the process the next day. Capital letters, the next day. So yeah, they don't want you doing that another coat, but I think one will be enough anyways, because you know, you can't really see in there. It's not really bright enough, but I'd like to get another one in there, but I think that'll be all right. So, oh, interesting. I gotta show you something cool here after. I let the stuff kind of dribble out because I didn't want it going too thick, right? But let's see. I guess this is all right. I can't get the light in the right spot. I'm gonna take this inside, I guess. That's only, I'd really like to get another one in there, but not right now, I guess. I let the thing drip out because I didn't want this kind of going thick in here, right? It's still pretty good yet. And it made like a little tank sealer icicle. That's kind of cool. That's different anyway, so now I should be able to pop this thing out of here, and when I'm ready to reinstall everything, and it's rubbery, like it's turned rubbery, so there's how much actually dripped out after, but you can see like the stuff, oily stuff evaporating out of it, right? Like it's all wet there now, so I'm gonna let that harden up. It might not, I don't know. But wasted a little bit there, but I'd rather waste a little bit than make the whole can go bad, right? So, but anyways, that should be good. I will put these caps on so I don't lose them, and we'll call her a day, I guess. I'll take that inside so I don't have to leave my heat on out here overnight, because I don't really want to burn up all that propane just to keep this warm. It's kind of silly. So anyways, I guess that's about it for today. Thanks again for watching. We got it all sealed up and she should be good. I'm going to leave this off for a little bit though, because I want to bring the tractor up here when it's a nicer warm day. And in that box underneath there, I've got that great big, huge 3-inch rad hose. That big feller. I want to put on that tractor and change. There's two of them I got to do. Well, a big longer one and then one shorter one on the top. And this, of course, is our air tube assembly for the 9N. So hopefully we get some nicer weather coming soon here. We can actually get working on some of this stuff, because it'd be nice to get some of it going again. Now, of course, I had this mounted on the tractor running out of this tank. Well, I can't do that very well when this is off, right? So I got something rigged up to get her running, to bring it up here. You're probably going to laugh at it, but I'll show you that whenever we get her up here. It'll be a little while though. It's pretty funny. It should work good actually. So anyways, that's I guess about it for today. Not much else happening. We're going to head her out. Thanks again for watching, and you guys have a good day.